Hello, everybody. I'm Eric Grégoire, the CEO of SHG Swiss Hospitality Group, and we are in Switzerland. And today you will have a course about the events. So it could be business events like cocktails. Yes, it could be like cocktails, networking events. It can be a training, conference, etc. It can be also like more like personal event, like a wedding, for example. So when you work in hotels, you will have to organize a lot of events, either inside your hotel. It can be also inside the restaurant. So if you have a restaurant, might be a good idea to organize some events, especially that in terms of revenue, it can be quite interesting to organize some events. For example, some wedding sometimes is something that you organize it time to time. It might be very good for the business. So this course is all for all people working in food and beverage. You can be F&B staff. You can work in a banquet, for example, or you want to be, to be specialized in events. You may also want to be, for example, a wedding planner, or to maybe start a company specialized in events. So even if you don't work in hotels, but you want to do this outside in another place, it's really up to you. And well, you will see all the steps to manage with success an event, from the contact with the clients to the end. I have personally organized a lot of events, up to almost 1,000 people. So it can be like I did small events to very big events. So I got quite a lot of experience. So I will give you all my tips to make sure that your event is a success. And that's and if I can give you a first advice, and I will repeat it many times, the key of the success for the events, what it is the preparation. At 80% is the preparation. So that means if you do a very good preparation, and I will explain you how to prepare it very well. If you prepare your event very well, you have 80% of chance that is a success. So that means when you are well prepared, you go to the event on the day of the event, you are very relaxed, because you are so well prepared that at 80%, it's the job is done. Then the 20% is just to manage during the event, but you are so well prepared that it is good. And that's the key of the success, really, the preparation. Actually, your goal is to kind of minimize the risk. So that means once is the event, there are a lot of risk, like of food, like of beverages, security issues, problem with the electricity, with the staff. There are a lot of the weather. There are a lot of things which could go wrong, and you have to, it's risky to make an event. Okay, so you have a big responsibility. So your goal is to kind of, it is a big risk, and if you are, better is the preparation, okay, then the risk is getting smaller, and smaller. That means you need to make sure that at the end, the risk, of problems becomes very small. And that's only possible with preparation, nothing else. If you are well prepared, your event will be a success. Okay, so, but preparations means a lot of hard work, a lot of organization, and I will explain you everything. Okay, but it's all about preparation. All right, so let's start, and let me show you my screen, and we can start. So first, start with the sales team. Okay, the sales team, what they do, the sales team, they meet the client, and this is step number one. Why the sales team? Because very often the people who are meeting the client are not the one during the event who are going to run everything, all the operations. This is a sales team. Basically, the job of the sales team is what? To gather all the information. They show the place, they show all the options. Basically, they're here to welcome you and to, basically they do the sales job. So they want to sell you the venue, the event. So of course, they know the place, they have experience, and they will sell you all the options, etc. And the goal of the sales team is to sell the event and to gather all the information. So the client will give them a lot of information. After that meeting, and we will come back more in details after that. So this is the part number one. After that, the sales team will make an offer. We'll make an offer after a couple of days. They will come back to the client and with a written offer, said, okay, it was very nice meeting you the other day, blah, blah, blah. And we'll be happy to organize your event. And here are the following options. And you can make different options with different prices, etc. So that's the offer. After that, sometimes it's kind of negotiation. And then there's the part 3, where there's a confirmation from the client. So the client will confirm that they want to organize the event. And in that case, it's highly recommended to do another meeting with the client to confirm all the details, like small details. So it's very important. So this is the pre-event. So this is handled by the sales team. After that, the sales team, they will gather all the information. Okay, now they know that everything is confirmed. Maybe the client already paid a deposit, and then after that, they will handle all this to the banqueting team. Okay, so the banquet manager. I will also explain how they give all those information. And then the banquet staff will start the organization. That means the staff organization, the equipment which is needed. Then after there's the staff in the kitchen, they will also prepare the food. There's a beverage team as well. And then you have different kind of, how to say, suppliers, if we can say, some people, let's say, and this is according to the wish of the client, what he wants for the event. So for example, if he wants flowers, then you need to coordinate with the flower supplier. Then you have for lighting, can be some special a band for the music, like you have all the things for entertainment. So well, you start organizing it, and after that you need to verify. And after that, once everything is clear, then you need to make a meeting with the staff to explain them about the event. And then that comes then the day, okay, the day of the event. And here starts the mise en place, that means the setup. And you have a first meeting with the staff, and after that, once it's done, you verify, and then you do a final briefing with the staff, and then the event starts, and then you do debriefing later on. So those are the steps you see from A to Z, how it works for the events. So we will go a little bit more into the details. And as you can see, why I'm saying that it might be very interesting for the hotels and for the restaurants and for anyone to do some events. I mean, talking about financially speaking. Why? Because everything is planned in advance. So if you don't do the event, you're not losing money. Okay. So basically it's all profits. Let's say you have a restaurant. Well, you have your restaurant for your for your daily routine, let's say. But if someone comes for a wedding or something like this, you make easily the calculation if you will make more money with the wedding or with your regular business. Or everything is written in advance. So you know exactly how much they will spend for the menu, for the food, beverage, for the extra things that they ask. Everything is planned in advance, even is paid in advance. So you're not taking any risk. You know exactly how many staff do you need. So your cost, your cost very well. There's a cost control, which is perfect. So it's very good. And the margins in events can be quite comfortable. So if you have a restaurant, you should definitely do some events. If you have a hotel, of course you have to do, and you have to push your sales team to get some events. Yeah, it's very interesting. And you actually, now more and more people, they want, some events. It's good for the marketing, it's good to, so they need, help from professional people like you to organize the events. So it's perfect, and I hope the video will help you. So first, here, when you meet the client, you need to kind of ask them about the banquet setup style that you wish to have. Okay, so that's important, and because you cannot do this at the last moment. It's moving the tables, moving the chairs is not easy, so you don't do it at the last minute. So you need to ask to the client what he wants. So those are the most common setups. So for example, this is theater style. So you have chairs, okay, there's no tables, just chairs, okay, and then you have a stage with a screen, or just the stage. That depends if the client wants a screen. It is what we call theater style. This is good because you can put a lot of people over there. Then you have the boardroom. It's like a meeting room, basically. You have a big meeting table, okay? So it's a big table with people around, okay? So for business meetings, it's perfect, boardroom style. Then you have the U-shaped style. So here you have a little bit two options. Either you have like a big table and people on the side, and one side is not taken because it's someone on the stage with a screen. Otherwise, in the middle here, it's empty. So the one who is talking, the trainer or whatever, can walk inside, in the middle of this table, so and you have just tables all around as a U shape, and that's why it's called U shape, and you have people around. So which is quite good, because here for trainings, people have a good visibility, and it's also quite dynamic. People, they like it. Then you have wedding style. So wedding style, it's round tables. On the round tables, you always have 8 to 10 people per table. Most of the time it's 10 people, but 8 is also okay. So 8 people per table, round tables. This is perfect for weddings or for dinners and lunch, etc. Then if you want for cocktails, also very often when you have a wedding or like a dinner and everything else, it's very often you have a cocktail. So he's not right in here, but cocktail is the same. You have just round tables, very small. They do 1 meter, 1 meter diameter. So it's quite small tables, high tables, and there's no chairs, and people are hanging around, and the tables is just to put the drink on the tables if you need to. So this is called the cocktail setup. And then we have herringbone style setup. So here you get the stage with a screen in the back, and and then you get people with a table. The table is good because you can take some notes. So for trainings, it can be very good. It's also quite convenient for the people to come to the stage if they want to. For interaction, is good. Then we have the hollow square style. So this, you often see that on TV, very often for meetings with the government when there are a lot of people. It's very similar to the boardroom style, but you have more people usually. So it's like, actually is when you have huge meeting, but there are too many people, and a table cannot be so big for such meetings. So basically, there are tables all around, and inside is empty. Okay, but so everybody's seated, and usually there's no screens. They're seated and they have the micro and they speak, and that's it. Then you have the classroom style. classroom style, like at school, you know, with a table and chairs behind, and you have the trainer who has a small desk. You can ask if they want a screen. Very often they have a screen. Then you can ask if they want the small desk of teacher on the side, or if they want a stage or just a small desk, but this is called the classroom style. And then we have the T-shape style, as you can see, as the shape of a T. You can use this for VIP dinners, for example. It can be the VIP table with you know, the VIP people on the top, and then other people on the other side of the table. Yeah. So you see, you have different setup, and you need to ask your client what is the style that they want, because you know, this has to be organized in advance. So most of the time when you organize like a business event, well, the people, your clients, they know about this, they have experience, but sometimes they don't know. So if they don't know, well, you have to explain them and you need to give them advice. And the next question will be to ask them about the equipment. Do they need? Do they need a screen? Do they need speakers, micro? Okay, that's important because it's also together, and you don't want to put a screen or micro and speakers at the last moment. It's not possible. So you have to ask this during that meeting. All the equipment do they need? Then another question that you need to ask is about the number of people that they expect. Okay, so expected number of people. However, what happens when the people, they come to see you to organize an event? When they do it, it's not at the last moment. They do this like months and months before, even years before for wedding. Okay, they will come to see you 1 year before. So at that time, for them, it's very difficult to give you an exact number of people. Okay, so they will give you an approximation, like, you know, and they will tell you, I will tell you later. So what you can do first, remember that give them the price per person. Okay, because you cannot give a price, okay, to make your event it will cost you $10,000. No, because you know, all depends of the number of people, because if there are more people, it's more food, more beverage, etc. So always make the price per person, so you will not lose any money. If it's 100 people, it's 100 people. If it's 120 people, it's 120 people, and you multiply by the price that you decided per person. That's the first thing. Then always, and we will see that later, you have the expected number of people. Okay, let's say 120, and you also should ask them the minimum guaranteed. Okay, this is what is guaranteed, and usually it's like a lower number that for sure the guest will pay for it. That means if it's a wedding, let's say, how many people do you expect? They will tell you, I'm not sure, about 100, 110, maybe 120. I'm not sure. Yes, I will tell you later. Okay, not a problem. So when there is a kind of confirmation and when it's almost confirmed, you will say, okay, I need the minimum guarantee. Okay, I know that you're not sure about exactly how many people will come, if it's 110, 120, etc. But what is the minimum guarantee that, you know, we need to have a minimum guarantee? And they will tell you, okay, 100 people. Okay, so they will for sure pay for 100 people, no matter what. And so if it's only 80 people finally coming on the day, they will still pay for 100 because it's guaranteed. They signed for 100 people, but expected 110, 120. So they will kind of let you know. They will let you know, and you will also put tables, etc. for the numbers I said. Okay, so those numbers are close by. Okay, so it's not a big difference. Okay, but you have to keep in mind this. Okay, what is the guaranteed and what is expected, and that's it. So this is like the first stage. You know, like to ask. So you show them around the venue. Okay, you show them around the venue. You listen to them, very important. You ask them about the event. You try to understand the budget, what they want, etc. It's very important to listen to them as a good salesperson. Okay, as a salesperson, you listen to them, and you try to understand what they want, etc. And basically, it's not a problem, but they have a need, and you need to come up with a solution. Okay, so you come up with a solution and said, yes, indeed, I think with the event that you want here, this is what we can do, and it will be perfect. And I will recommend you to do, for example, the cocktail here on the terrace and the dinner inside, etc., etc. So you show them the venue. You try to kind of picture the place. Okay, like we put the tables around here. Here will be the stage, etc., etc. You try to show them how it will be, and you try to show them all the options and everything like this. So very important to understand is the style that they want, how many people will come, the equipment that they need, and also about the food as well. The budget and what they want also for the beverages is important. So for example, here at SHG, we often do like a simulation with a visit of the customer. Okay, and very important, it's difficult during that meeting to kind of agree about the food and to agree about the beverage because they don't know. They don't know sometimes the budget, they need to compare, etc., etc. So ask them questions, and the best is to make different options. Okay? Different options, for example, for the menu, for the food, you can do one option which is a little bit cheap, okay, with maybe 3 dishes option. Then maybe another option a little bit more expensive with 4 dishes option. What I'm saying option is like with a starter, main dish, etc. And then another one more like fine dining, like really top. So you have the menu actually. You should already have worked with the chef of the kitchen about potential menus. Okay, and actually you will kind of always use the same menu, or for example, the chef will give you a couple of menus every quarter, for example, according to the season, to tell you, okay, those are the menus that we could give for the events. Why? Because the chef already calculated the cost of each menu. So he will tell you, this we can sell it for whatever, 50 euro, this one for 70 euro, and this one for 90 euro per person. Okay, because the cost is calculated. And also you need to keep in mind that the menu for a banquet, when you have a lot of people, has to be kind of easy to cook. Why? Because it's difficult to kind of do everything at the last minute. So most of the things have been more or less pre-cooked. And then at the last moment, the kitchen will finish the cooking. You know what I mean? So it must be easy. Same for the sauce, same for everything. So that's why it's important that everything is planned in advance. It must be something which is quite easy and workable for the staff. Okay, so that's why you have to work. If tomorrow you want to make some events, first talk to the chef of the kitchen and ask him some options, different menus, and he will have time to make some menus. Okay, so then you will do different options with different price and different food test, whatever, like different options for the guests. Okay, and same for the beverages. For the beverages, there's also a lot of choice. Do they want a local wine, not too expensive? Okay. Do they want some expensive wines? Do they want some champagne, etc., etc.? Do they want open bar? Do they want soft drinks? So basically, it's per package. You know, if they want the soft drink package, that's one price per person. Let's say, I don't know, let's say 20 euro per person. Okay, and for 20 euro, it's unlimited, but it's only soft drinks. Okay, then you have another one, a little bit more expensive, where you include local wines. Okay, so wine, not too expensive, you know, and also unlimited, including soft drinks and local wine. Okay, and then you have another option where you have some more expensive alcohol, like champagne and or maybe some expensive wine if they want to. However, in that case, if it's a bit expensive per bottle, well, in that case, you cannot do unlimited because it might become a little bit risky for you. Imagine an unlimited event, you know, like with champagne or with a Dom Pérignon. It might be a little bit costly for you and risky. So what you can do, you can charge per bottle. Okay, you can charge per bottle. So you do, okay, let's do the soft drink package plus the local wine package, okay, plus the champagne package, but we charge this for the champagne, we charge per bottle that you use, so you control your cost. So it's very fair, and the clients, they like this. So very important when you do this to always keep the bottles during the event. That means when the bottle is finished, the champagne, you don't throw them away. So you have to say to the staff to not throw them away, and you put them in a corner under the table, a little bit hidden because it's not very nice. But you not throw them away. So at the end, if the client is not happy, oh, we didn't spend like whatever 20 bottles of champagne or whatever, you show them the bottles. There's no like issue like this. Okay, so that's a good way to not have any argument with the clients. You keep the bottles, especially when the bottles are a bit expensive. You can also do open bar with, you know, whiskey, vodka, cocktails, etc., during you know, and this you charge for the number of people and also for the duration, if it's for 1 hour, 2 hours, etc. Okay, so you make your calculation and it's very fair. What you don't want people during an event to pay, okay, per bottle or per glass, etc., because then you need a cashier and it's annoying and it's not good. Okay, so unless you organize a sports event, a concert, music event, in that case, yes, okay, but it's not recommended if it's like a business event or a wedding or anything like this. You don't want people to pay anything, so you need to put in place like packages like this, so all is confirmed, and you also control your cost a little bit, you know, I mean, you have calculated everything, so it's kind of safe for you. Sometimes there are some clients, they will ask you, can I bring my wine or can I bring my champagne, because I will tell you, you know, I have my whatever, someone in my family has a vineyard, I do my own wine, I have my favorite brand, blah 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 blah. I know, actually it's a way for them to save some money. Okay, so they want to bring their own whiskey, they want to bring their own champagne, they want to bring their own wine. Okay, so that's not good for you, obviously. Why? Because you want to make also some money when you sell them some beverages. Okay, so however, in that case, if you cannot say no because maybe it's an important client and you don't want to lose this event because of that, you can say yes. However, you still need to charge them for the service. Why? Because, well, the wine or whatever, maybe you have to put in the fridge, you need to open, you need to serve, okay? And very important, you also need the glass. The glass will be dirty, you need to wash them, and very important, some glasses will be broken for sure. At every event, some glass will be broken, because when you clean them at the end, you know, when you dry and whatever, there's always some broken glasses. So, well, there's a cost for you, and well, of course, the client has to pay. So, say, look, okay, you can bring your wine. Exceptionally, with the management, we agree that you can bring your wine, but please, you need to bring the wine 1 day before. and we will charge you, and that must be written on the contract. We will charge you whatever, like 10 or 15 or 20 euro per person for this service. You know, they want it or not, but you know, you need to charge something, otherwise you're losing money. And of course, it's not something that you want, so it's only if they ask you and they insist. Yeah. So that's for the sales. So once you have all this information about the food, beverage, and you make it, sometimes they cannot take a decision right away during the meeting, so you make different options. And you send, I will send to you this week, I will send you my offer, and with 3 options for the beverage and maybe 3 options for the food. So you can choose, and then you will also see the price to rent the place, and also for the equipment that you ask for it, and then basically is according to your budget, and we make sure that you are happy about all the options. Okay, so that's what happens. Okay, so a couple of days after, you make the offer to the client because you already asked all your questions to all the questions. It's very important as well and that's, I come back to the previous point, to ask the date of the event, because immediately you can see if it's available or not. Even if it's next year, you never know, because weddings very often are the same date, same weekend, etc. So very often you need to ask immediately the date of the event if they know, if it's flexible, because then you can already kind of later on, when you make the offer, you can already block the date and tell them, okay, I can block the date for you for the next week or for 2 weeks, okay, but please let me know, because if you want to block to keep this date for you, then we need your confirmation as soon as possible. All right, so also you can put them some pressure, that's part of the sales speech, to ask them to confirm fast, to make sure that this date is not taken and booked by somebody else. So that's before the event, you need to make this, of course, this offer. So very often is an email. It must be by written. You have basically all the information. It's a kind of summary of what they asked with all the prices. Everything has to be detailed. Okay, so you make this offer later to the client. Everything is you need to put all the details, so they don't ask you 1,000 questions. Everything is super clear, all the cost is super clear, etc., etc. That's and you ask them to, you also tell them about payment terms as well, what they need to pay for deposit, how much they will pay, etc., etc. All must be very clear. And usually the people, they pay before the event. Okay, and otherwise the day of the event they pay the last part, but usually it's all paid in advance. So the only last part is to know according to the number of people who came to the place, but let's say most of the time it's a big part of the payment has been made before the event, so it's secured and it's good for you, so you can whatever, buy the food, buy the beverage, rent or buy the equipment that you need. Everything it's secured. And then once maybe they will try to negotiate, and after that, hopefully for you will get the confirmation from the client. Okay, so you get the confirmation from the client, and it's highly recommended that you do another meeting with them. Okay, they can come back to the place if they can, or you do a Zoom video with them or phone call, but please take your time, because it's very important. It's very important to really make sure that there's no doubt. Everything is crystal clear for you, what they want, what is confirmed, what they pay, etc., etc. Must be no like, oh, I don't know about this. No, it must be very, very clear. Okay, because why? Because you as a salesperson, you have this responsibility to gather all the information and to give this information to the banquet team, and the banquet team, they will the banquet teams, they will organize the event in details. Okay, so they will calculate the number of people, etc., etc. So we will see that later. You will see it's a lot of organization and a lot of small details. So if the sales team didn't take all the information, the problems will come. So as I said before, it's all about preparation, and the preparation starts from that, to gather all details and all information. So you have to think about everything. And then at that moment, you can ask them about the payment, okay? Because it's confirmed, they sign the contract and they pay, and you gather all the information. That's it. So that's made by the sales team. Why? Because the sales teams are used to sell, okay? They know how to organize events. They're not the banquet manager, they're not the banquet people, but they're used, they're used to, they know the job, and are here to close the deal, and it's done by the sales team. Okay, so the sales team, they will sometimes come for the event, but usually even sometimes they're not at the event. Why? Because the sales team usually they work from Monday to Friday during office hours, and if the event is on weekends, sometimes they will not come, which is a pity. I believe they should come to the event, but sometimes they don't do. So that's why it's very important to really take all the information and to give to the banquet team. And if they come anyway, they're not really in charge of the operations, they just double check that everything is happy and the customer is happy, But that's really important, that really here, before the event, you gather everything, all the information that you can handle to the banquet team. That's it. So we will come back later after that for next video to talk about the BEO, banquet event order. It will be in the next video. Thank you.